Hey everyone, Arashi here, back again with another upload. In today's video, I'm just going to be talking about Star Wars and where the heck you go from here. And honestly, I have harsh opinions at this point. After Star Wars Episode 3, or Acolyte Episode 3, whatever, screw that show. It really pissed me off the other day. But now I'm really starting to, as I'm starting to calm down and understand what's going on, I think it's just time for a full clean house. It's time to burn everything there down. I mean, at this point, nobody there understands Star Wars. Nobody there likes Star Wars, and it's evident in what they're putting out. And yes, that includes Dave Filoni. I even have videos on my channel talking about Dave Filoni and how great he is and what he's doing for Star Wars. And now I have absolutely no faith in Dave Filoni either. But my sentiment about Star Wars is true. I still said even back in the day when I was advocating for Dave Filoni, I said Star Wars needs to take about a year or two off and just completely clean house and then come back with a rebooted 7th movie. And just absolutely scrap everything that's been going on so far. I mean, go ahead and scrap The Acolyte. Go ahead and scrap even Mando if you want. I mean, I can advocate for Mando staying, but you can go ahead and scrap that too. But I think it's best that Disney treats the last 12-15 years of Star Wars and as it just never happened. As you guys all know, I always advocated for good Star Wars. That through it all, I just wanted Star Wars to be good and be brought back up to the point where it used to be as a prime franchise in entertainment business. But honestly, the best thing for Star Wars right now is just a full-blown rebuild. Just take everything out and just completely scrap it and make a bunch of new content, restarting at the 7th movie again. I don't know, man. It's just that Star Wars is in such a bad place that it's unwatchable at this point. I mean, after Star Wars Episode 3 or Acolyte Episode 3, it's just terrible. Like, I don't see how anybody can't help but agree with someone like me. I know everybody says, or I've always said that I don't want Star Wars to necessarily do bad. I wanted all our shows to do good, but at this point, I have to start advocating for the shows to fail. And that's something that I never actually wanted to do. I never actually wanted to root for the show or Star Wars or anything that comes out of Star Wars to fail. But at this point, I have to in order to get the change that we need. I mean, as we already know, the Star Wars franchise has been down for a while. And everything that Disney keeps doing is just like kicking it while it's down. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you bought the franchise and all you're doing is just ruining it. At this point, Star Wars is just being bullied by Disney, and it's not even really by Disney, it's by the people in charge at Star Wars. I mean, Leslie Headland, we have Dave Filoni. I mean, I don't know what Jon Favreau is doing. I haven't really necessarily seen him recently, but overall, it's time for change. I mean, at this point, there's really nothing that I can say or do that can make Star Wars any better unless they actually start to put in a work and effort themselves. But as for me, in my opinion, man, Star Wars is dead right now, and it's nothing but Disney's fault for why they're killing it. I mean, you had the failure of the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel at Disneyland Orlando or Disney World Orlando. And it's crazy to me because it's like, after so many failures, I mean, heck, even Forbes jumped in and made a news article about how bad Star Wars or Acolyte is. Especially about how bad Episode 3 of Acolyte was. I mean, you're having all these pronounced and big figures come out and say how horrible this is, and all it's doing is turning attention away from you guys. It's not good attention. I mean, heck, even Disney Plus subscribers has gone down very, very low. I mean, that's the reason why Disney's been advocating for stuff like that. Park attendance is at an all-time low. I mean, it's crazy, especially with an economy like this, you could actually take advantage and be one of the best ones out there. But no, instead you advocate for having the worst shows and having the worst decisions and having the worst leadership there, and it's just not helping out your cause. So from this point on, I'm not advocating for Disney to make changes. I'm advocating for Disney to completely clean house. I want everybody gone. Dave Filoni, everybody just in soft reboot the series. Star Wars was bought when I was 11 years old. I'm now going on 24, 25 years old. I'm in that age range now, and now it's insane to me that Star Wars has not gotten better since then. It's just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. Now, granted, we do have some good projects like Mando Season 1 and Season 2, and then Ahsoka all the way up to Episode 6. I mean, that was actually good Star Wars content. But at this point, the bad so far outweighs the good that it's just not worth saving. I don't quite understand what's going on over there at this point. It's just very saddening and disheartening because this is a franchise that I love, a franchise I grew up with, and I hate to see it going out like this. I remember being a little kid and talking about Star Wars and stuff like that and being made fun of because I loved Star Wars. I was seen as a nerd, and I only had a few friends due to that. I mean, I didn't really care at the time, but it's just my experience. I was a person who's defending Star Wars, and now we have people who are writing for Star Wars who don't necessarily even care. But that's man, it just really sucks making this video. I honestly had to stop for a second because it really does suck making this video because I feel like I'm losing a friend here. So, will I continue to cover Star Wars content in the future? Of course, but I'm definitely going to be doing more Legends and more EU content. Anything along those lines of content, I'm going to try to stray away from doing any of these things that, you know, any of the new things that are coming out. I am going to work on Can My Sequel Characters Be Redeemed? I'm going to work on that, but that one's going to be a fully animated thing once I understand how to animate better and once I understand and I get voice lines and stuff like that. I will be creating that as my own little fan fiction, and then I'm also working on my own comic book right now, so that's I have a whole bunch of things on my plate on top of balancing life in general and trying to get into my next career field. So please be on the lookout for that kind of stuff. My Can My Sequel Characters Be Redeemed series, I will be animating that stuff, but that's pretty much on the first docket. And I also have to finish other videos in terms of that and what I would change and how I'd make Star Wars better. Because I believe that Star Wars fan fiction and stuff like that, that's what's gonna be the new Star Wars content that we can absorb and what we can learn from. At this point, fan fictions and what we create as fans is what's going to keep Star Wars alive, because at this point, Disney is actively trying to kill and destroy Star Wars. So I advocate for everybody. Create your own Star Wars channels. Do what you got to do. Join forums. Go do anything that interests you in terms of Star Wars and just go out and do it, man. We don't have to accept Disney's bull crap. We don't have to accept what they're doing. And as I said, or as Star Wars Theory says, and many other content creators says, do it respectfully. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our own content. We're going to make Star Wars good again. There's always hope, but we just don't have any hope inside of Disney anymore at this point. May the Force be with you and have a great rest of your day.